this is lovely because, as you know, we have a habit on this show of talking about one thing and then just going off on 16 tangents. We've gotten to, I think, 2006, maybe 2007, and that's with skipping a lot.
Yes.
So I had the bright idea of let me ask people if they have any questions for you on top of my endless supply of questions, just to add even more fuel to the fire.
Bring them on. Let's go.
All right, so we have, let's see, one, two, three. I think we have I'm just gonna throw like 4 or 5 questions out there, get those going, and then I'll get to everything I have and we'll start from there. So
Oh, who knew I was this over?
oh, you are very popular, sir. Because some of these I've even picked up from, like, even before I said I was going to interview you again, people are like, oh, when you interview Sal again, ask him this. And I'm like, well, first of all, Sal has to
Beautiful.
be nice enough to do it.
No, it's written in my contract now. At least one a
Absolutely.
year.
Okay, so Akira Tozawa asked, and I don't think it's the real one, have you
I'm
ever
pretty sure
wrestled
it
in
is.
Japan?
No, and that is beyond bucket list thing for me. I'm really hoping. I actually just started. Well, to rewind it a little bit, I was supposed to go in '06. Oh, I believe it was '06. In '05, Dragongate had a dojo class of Ring of Honor guys, and I just missed. Uh, I was like the second to last guy that Gabe had recommended for it, and they cut the list off before I was on it. So
Oh,
I was going to be a part of the second dojo class, and I was so excited because it was like I think it was 3 months over there in the Dragon Gate dojo, and I was just at that time the Florida brothers were there, and they were my all-time like. If you haven't seen the Florida brothers in action, they're the most originally hilarious team I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just uh, my all time favorite Florida Brothers spot is they're teaming with what's her name, Akira Hokuto, who's Kensuke Sasaki's wife, right? And they're wrestling against Kensuke Sasaki. Well, they're doing a spot where they're doing, I forget how it happened, but they're doing face washes to her. And Kensuke Sasaki comes in and bumps them both off. And the referee goes off with the Florida brothers. And Kensuke Sasaki kind of stops and then starts giving his wife face washes when nobody's looking.
oh,
And
fantastic.
so, like, I was all about this. And unfortunately, they decided not to do the second class, but definitely a bucket list thing. So, if there's any promoters out there that have Japanese connections, uh, please, I'd love to do it. I have a passport ready to go.
So just as a refresher, that is the ECWA Super A Cup or Super Juniors and Japan that you want to get to.
Yes, yes, yes.
The Super 8 and Japan. And honestly,
Super 8 Japan.
I really hope both of those come true because I when I read that I wasn't sure if you had or not. I was like, I know it's not in my notes, but the notes don't cover everything. I'll miss stuff, but
Yeah, no, there's been that carrot's been dangled in front of me a couple times, but the Dragon Gate thing was the closest, and it hasn't hit yet, and hopefully soon. Hopefully, I'm hoping to do. I did Mexico this year, so hopefully Japan's next.
if you go over, because back then you wanted to do the whole dojo experience, but it's been another
Yes.
15 years since then. Is that something at
Yes.
this point in your life you would still want to do, or is it something where you're like, I'd rather just do the
I
tour or the
can
bookings?
I'd consider it still. Just I don't think I could do 3 months just because I've got kids, but man, it still would be a hard thing to pass. And just to embrace myself completely in the culture is something I'm incredibly interested in. So I would never say never. I'd have to see all the details to it, but man, yes. I mean, I'd be incredibly interested in any form or fashion going over there just to put, knock it off the bucket list.
Super cool. All right. Now,